So riddle me this. How can two artists in Project 70 both commit the same minor grammatical mistake, but yet everyone riots over artist A, but then artist B, there isn't even a peep out of the fan base? This is the 16th card from 1970 Topps, but Ron English here has always used 1970 Topps. And is it really a mistake if Topps makes the same mistake every time this player's card is released? No, we'll get to that here in a quick second, but my name is Chris. Otherwise known on Twitter and Instagram is at CRT_sportscards. And my website is where you want to go for everything related to Project 70, and that is simply CRTsportscards.com. And remember, if you are looking for a place to pre-order your cards for this week, my website has all of them for sale right now for just $18. And now with it being Thursday in Project 70, what is the great thing about today? We get the Monday print runs, and on Monday, as a whole, we had a very, very strong day. 11,275 cards. The leading vote getter out there, or the leading card, was that Mike Trout by the Sioux Surgeon. That, of course, was driven by that 1-of-1 bat giveaway. Let's all hope that bat shows up. But you know what? I guarantee you the person who hits that bat or finds that bat in the mail is going to post about it on some social media. So it's not going to be a surprise. And here again, we have another day that has gone by without seeing the Alex Pardee Thermal Fernando Tatis Jr. and the Brooks Robinson chase card from Blake Jamieson. Alex Pardee said he's reaching out to Topps. So is Blake Jamieson. I guarantee you they're probably getting the same response. They're produced, they're being packed out, we don't know where they went. It sounds very much like 2018 Allen Ginter Wood Mini 1-of-1s. And yes, I am being sarcastic here because it is not that hard to produce these chase cards. If for some reason these chase cards were not ready the time the base card was ready, you know what they should have done? Not sent out any base cards and made a message to the public, hey, these cards are being held back until we finish the chase cards. But in saying that though, I really hope to be proved wrong here in the next couple of days. Maybe these will start showing up. We will find out. Stay close social media to see if these do ever pop up. But of course, getting back again to the Monday print runs, the lowest printed card was that Don C. Ernie Banks, just over 1.2K. The other Mike Trout card, the one by SS, over 3,000. And then the Tony Gwynn by Snoop Dogg, just over 2.4. So the average print run, 2.8K. Very, very nice start to the week. We'll see if the Tuesday cards can even get close to that number. I don't think they will, but I think again here we're in for a very strong print run week. But now as we shift our focus to the cards that released on Thursday, September 2nd in Project 70, I did find it pretty interesting that we had a Lauren Taylor card release alongside a Gregory Siff, and Gregory Siff released Ronald Acuna Jr. And now why does that matter, you ask? A lot of you may have missed what happened when Lauren Taylor released her Acuna just a few short weeks ago. The tilde was missing on the N. And there was a small but very vocal part of the Project 70 community that just gave it to Lauren Taylor, and I thought it was completely out of bounds. Yes, we want these artists to be communicative with us. We want the responses. Understandably, they don't know us anything. There are some artists out there who will not communicate with us one bit, and that's perfectly okay. Nowhere in their contract does they say they have to talk to us on Twitter or Instagram. We love the interaction, but it's not required. And so Lauren Taylor did what Lauren Taylor does. She communicated to the entire community, apologizing for the mistake. I don't believe that she owed any one of us an apology, because you know what? Go to the Topps website every single time an Acuna card is released, and it's not on that name. So this is a complete non-story at the end of the day, but here it is today on Thursday. Gregory Siff releases an Acuna, and there's not a tilde over the N. Yes, it is there in the title from the actual design of the card, but if you're a Gregory Siff fan, you know that is not his style. The real Acuna on his card is handwritten, and there's not a tilde there. And you know what? There isn't a peep out of anybody. And so we really have to check ourselves at the door. Yes, you can have your opinion about these cards. We can talk good, bad, or indifferent about them. But when you start talking and attacking an artist, I think that's way out of line. And then when there's a double standard, all of us just have egg on our face. We really have to look at what we're typing out before we hit that enter button. But now let's not have all of that overshadow the 4 cards I released today. First up for us is going to be Lauren Taylor's Tim Anderson. This is Tim Anderson's 3rd card in Project 70, and this is Lauren Taylor's 11th card in the set. 12 if you count the All-Star card, but for the poster chase, this is only the 11th card. And when you take a look at this card, when I first saw it a couple of days ago, my eyes were immediately drawn to Tim Anderson's face. It didn't dawn on me for a few seconds that I'm actually looking at the back of Tim Anderson. That is his, of course, Player Weekend jersey. You have TA7, the nickname. You have the bat flip, sort of destroying Comiskey Park. But the 2 things that I really like the most about the card, number 1, it's going to be the black border take on 87 Topps. You know my fascination with black border cards. But then number 2 here, when you take a look at Tim Anderson's right hand from the bat flip, it fills in the jersey. So that's a really, really small detail that I think can get missed. But now while we're on the topic of missing things, when you take a look, or when I take a look at the 9th Darryl Strawberry in the set, this time from Old Man Allen, also Old Man Allen's 9th card in the set, there were a lot of things that I'm going to miss completely because I know very little about MF Doom. I do understand and know that he unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago, so that is very sad. I did notice that the Old Man Allen logo is in the cereal bowl. I'm sure there's a reason why that's there and why certain elements are on the card, but for me, as someone who knows very little about MF Doom, this card here again, just like the Gundam Shohei Ohtani, went over my head at the moment. But here, on that staple Ohtani, he did post up a very emotional post about that card to Instagram. So if you've not checked out Jeff Staple on Instagram, check out that post around that Ohtani. And now 3rd up today is from a team that at one time was the 3rd most represented team in the set, but over the past couple of months there have been very few Mariner cards being released, but this is the 29th Seattle Mariner. This is also Ken Griffey Jr.'s 11th card, this time from Soulfly. This is Soulfly's 10th card in this set. But when I saw this card, I felt like I'm missing something major. I feel like when I get this card in the mail, I need to put it in my Trapper Keeper. This card is so early 90s. It just takes me back 30 years now. That's crazy to say out loud that the 90s were 30 years. But I think for Griffey, the era he dominated in, this is a perfectly designed card for the early 90s. Although, for any true Mariner fan on this card, you will know that that logo that Soulfly used, that Trident logo, that is a cursed logo in Mariners team history. This is going to be, after this season, 20 years without playoffs, and they brought that logo back this year for the Trident deck. I really hope it disappears here soon, but that logo is not good for Mariner fans. But you know what is good for all of us here in Project 70? The Topps Meet the Artist series. Those videos, they've released now 7. It really does the artist justice. It gives you sort of a behind the scenes view of the artist. And this past Tuesday, they released the brand new one around Gregory Siff. And I really, really hope you got to check that one out. Everything, or nearly everything that I've ever learned or taken away from Gregory Siff is spoken about and captured in that video. So I'm gonna go ahead and defer here to that 10-minute video. Go watch that video, and then I think you're really going to understand and appreciate what is actually happening on this Acuna. This will now complete your daily download for Topps Project 70 on Thursday, September 2nd. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button.